What's up, everybody? Brandon here, and I'm in front of you right now because we're about to learn the importance of seat selection. Now, anybody right now who is just not familiar to the game, just not comfortable with playing live, this is going to get you that confidence that you need to where you can sit down at the table at any moment and know exactly where you need to be. Okay, so a lot of us, even me myself, when I get to a table, when I get to a fresh table, right, something that I haven't been to yet as part of my session, what do? I first, hopefully there's more than one available seat, because if not, then everything that I'm teaching you right now is going to just be put on the back burner until you get more seats available, okay? But as you approach the table, what is it that you want to be looking for? Okay, you want to be looking for these kind of people, okay? Now, as you can see, I've created a table here with 10 seats, just like how you would find at a normal live ring game, okay? So we have the dealer here. Seat 1 is always to the left, always going around clockwise, okay? Now, or whatever way, yeah, clockwise. So the T that I have here is going to represent a tight player, a rock, a nit, somebody who is just not willing to gamble with the worst of it, okay? So we have a tight person. We have a loose aggressive person, open seat, tight aggressive, tight, open seat, maniac, open seat, tight player. Now, this is about average. This is about as average as you can get when you get to a table. There's going to be a majority of tight players, people who are just kind of, they're waiting for the top 5% of their range to even enter a pot. Okay? Those are the people that we consider in this world, in the poker world, tight, nitty, just not willing to get it in, right? So if you're approaching this table, okay, if you're walking up to the table and you see this lineup, where's the best place to sit? Okay, that's what we want to go over today, because some people might feel that, you know what, I'm not going to really make a decision. I'm just going to sit somewhere. I'm going to just plant my butt and then I'm going to evaluate. Well, that's the only thing to do if you only have one seat open and you've been called to the table. It's the only thing you could do, right, is just take what's given to you and then you evaluate. But with this situation, my example is specifically for those people who have multiple chairs open, available options, things to choose from before getting down to the table. So let me ask you real quick before I share with you the strategy behind my thought process. Where would you sit right here? Where would you sit? Would you sit in between the loose aggressive and the tight aggressive? Would you choose to sit in seat 7 maybe, in between having the tight person on your right and the maniac on your left? Or maybe it would be, or maybe it would be having the maniac on your right and the tight person on your left. Okay, so which one would you choose right now if you were to walk up to the table? Because me personally, there's some things that I see right off the bat that are going to dictate what I want to do. So if I walk up and I see, now of course, you're not going to know off the bat which one's tight, which one's a maniac, which one's, loose aggressive, tight aggressive. You're not going to know off the bat. But there are indicators that you could use, okay, to help you better inform yourself of where you want to sit. So these things that you want to look for: personal tells. You want to look for sloppiness. Okay, sloppiness is typically related to people who don't really care too much about what they're doing, where they're at, their money, things like that. Do not take my word for this. These are not exact reads. Don't walk up to there and see a sloppy person and think, okay, well, they've got to be just loose aggressive, so I'm going to stay away from them, or, I'm going to attack them, or whatever it is that you want to do. All I'm sharing with you is that there's tendencies, okay? So when I walk up to a table and I see a sloppy person, I know for my own good, for my own benefit, that I'm going to play different against that person. I'm going to watch for different things than I would a person who was keeping their chips nice and tight. Okay, now if you have somebody who's sitting maybe at the age of 55, you can kind of assume, especially if they're playing at a 1-2 or a 2-5 table, that they're most likely going to be a little bit tighter than the 19, 20, or not the 19, than the 21, 22, and 23-year-olds, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to take a look at age, clothing, if they're listening to music, what kind of music they're listening to, if you can hear it. You want to pay attention to the way they stack their chips. If they're in straight lines, if they're just scattered. You want to pay attention to how they shuffle their chips. You want to pay attention to all these kinds of indicators that you can actually get information on your opponent before you even play a hand. So, with that all being said, say you were to know what each player's tendencies were walking up to the table. Let's just pretend for a second. Where would you choose to sit and why? Now, I'm going to explain to you my theory, and I would love for your comments below this to let me know exactly, or, respond back to me and let me know exactly what it is that you would have done and why you thought that to be the right choice, okay? So now moving on, my last place that I'm going to choose to sit is going to be seat 7. Last place I'm going to choose to sit is going to be seat 7. The reason for that is because the most money that you're going to make in any session is going to be from the person on your right. And the most money that you're going to lose is going to be from the person on your left. So I do not want a maniac to my left, okay? Because that means that they're going to apply constant pressure to every time I open the pot. Because a lot of people who are maniacs understand that same rule. So if that rule applies for me, then I'm going to end up making more of my money to the person to the right of me, and I'm sitting to the left of to the right of the maniac. What is he going to do? He's going to use me to maximize his profits because he knows that his majority of his money is going to come from the person directly to his right. Okay, so that is my last spot that I want to be at. Second to last spot, okay, the second option that I would not choose as my first way to go would be seat 9. Why would you say? Now, you're probably wondering, well, it's the opposite of this other one, so if you're not going to sit there, it would make sense to sit there. Well, it would, except for the fact that I'm looking to maximize all my money. Okay, I want to maximize all of my profits. This loose aggressive guy right here, having position on him allows you to tighten up, play a little more ABC kind of poker, and you know that they're going to be getting out of line more often than not so that you can hold on to your mediocre holdings a little bit more than other people would, and they're just going to be betting into you. You might have to make a couple hero calls, but typically they're going to be just barreling into you because they're not afraid to pull more money out of their pocket, okay? So that's why it's very important to be able to choose your seat wisely, okay? So again, recap, make sure that you know and understand that the majority of your money in any cash game is going to come from the person directly on your right, and you're going to lose the majority of your money to the person directly on your left. So ideal scenario, set yourself up with a very loose aggressive person off to your right that you can make a majority of your money on. Then if you set yourself up with tight people behind you, the moment that he raises and you end up either calling or re-raising or whatever it is that you're doing, playing against that gentleman, a lot of these other people are going to fold their cards because they're not going to want to get in a mix with a multi-way pot unless they have the nuts. So that is my that's my take on this whole thing. I'd love to hear how your take is on this, and if you can, let me know exactly what it is. So I hope you found value today. I love you guys for watching. And if you want to know more about how I've been able to gain more experience, okay, through these tables without stressing myself out at all, I'm telling you, click the link below this video. You'll love what you find. I love you guys. See you on the next video. Take care.